Hey guys, Tammy Trayer, Mountain Woman Journals. I am joined today by my mountain man. This is Glen Trayer of Mountain Man Journals. We decided to do an additional video, and thank you, Wayne, for pointing that out. When I shot my deer, it got dark till we got back here, and it wouldn't have been really easy to show you what we were doing. So we'd like to show you the continuing process. I showed you how to field dress the deer. Now we're going to show you what you would need to do as far as continuing that process. We've had these deer hanging for a while. I shot my deer last Saturday, and today is Saturday, so mine's been hanging for a week. His has been hanging a little longer. It just helps to get the gaminess out of them. The deer still taste fine, and it's all in preparation, but it helps, and it just gives the meat better flavor and tenderness, actually. So I am going to jump out of the video, and I'm going to let him show you. He could do this with his eyes closed. He's been doing this since before he was 12. Yeah. And he's really good at it. And then we will do another video and show you actually how to butcher. We were going to do that today, however our temperatures really dropped and we can't get a knife into these deer, so it's going to need
solid.
They're solid as a rock. So we'll do this part, and then we will continue on and show you how to butcher, and then I will also show you the process of canning. So I'm going to jump out of the video and let my mountain man show you how it's done.
Alright guys, ladies, basically when you have the hide on, what you would do, what I like to do is when I start is on the front legs. I can't even lift it, it's froze that solid. What I do is I have a meat saw. You could use a hacksaw or regular saw. Regular saw dull, a little quicker, but meat saw is the best. What you do is I take right here above, it's hard to show you, I don't have any of the legs here, but come up above the joint, the knee joint, and cut that off there and there, and then I make an incision up here, right up on the inside of both legs, and come straight across the brisket leg and meet up with my other cut over here, just like a U shape. And then what I'll do is I'll cut the hide from there. I'll cut it straight down the neck, right down to where the head connects to the spine and the neck. Right there. I take that. Come
on, Copper.
Go on.
Come on.
Go on.
You guys get.
And then I'll cut that, like I said, I'll make that incision straight down there. And then what I'll do is I'll cut from where you made the incision to get the guts out, the intestines. I'll make an incision right down here and meet up with that cut again. This is all done. I like doing it when I have it laying down on the ground. It's a little easier to do when it's like that, and you can hold the leg up and make your cuts and stuff. And then what I'll also do is I'll take and skin the leg out, like I'll just cut the hide back, and inside here everything I'll just cut the hide right off, just slowly skin it out. And if it's warm yet, a lot of times you can take and grab a hold of the hide and pull, and you can pull it off a lot quicker than just sitting there cutting it. But if you're going to use the hide for tanning or something like that, you want to be careful that you don't cut any holes in your hide. And what I do is on the back here, have her come around. This is hanging a little funny here. I'm going to jump over here to this deer so you can see it a little bit better. Right above the hind, where the joint is on the hind leg, right here, it would be like the joint area. I take and I go down just a little bit and cut it like here, because right here there's a tendon that runs down into the back hind quarter. You want to make sure you don't cut that, because if you cut that, then you have trouble hanging it. Now what I do is I'll take and I'll cut that off like such, and then I'll take and I'll make an incision right down, come straight down, and make a U shape again. Okay, and then I'll take in here, there'll be a little bit of hide left. I cut that hide there, and then on the back I just come right over and I cut right to the tail. Then what I do is I skin this down, and again, be careful you don't cut that tenon. I skin the hide down, and if it's warm, like I said, you can just take it and grab a hold of it and pull it once it's out past, once you have it skinned out past this tenon right here, this like joint right here. You can take it and just pull it right down. And then do the same thing to the other side, and take it on down, and then I'll take and skin it down to like, oh, roughly here somewhere. And I like to skin the inside a little bit when it's on the like, a lot of times I just do it on the tailgate of the truck. And then what I'll do is I'll take and hang it. Now I made this able to hang the deer off of, or an elk. Might be able to see a little better
from the inside.
From the inside here.
Bear with me on the movement here. You want to just take that and show them?
Hopefully you can see that. It just has a, you know, a loop there, and you can tie your string off to that, or your rope, and then it comes down and hooks through a support, and then hooks through there, and that goes right behind, you know, that front, that tenon right there. Now once you have it up and hanging, I think you can do it like I have it here, just with 2 pieces of rope hang off. If you don't have a gamble to hang, to hang it off of, you can just do it with 2 pieces of rope. For years growing up, we had a lot of baling twine around, and from baling hay and stuff, and we used that all the time to hang our deer, because we didn't have one of them. So we used that, but you can use whatever.
550 cord would work
yeah,
good too.
Paracord work, whatever, something has some strength though, because you'll be pulling on it. And then you just continue to skin it down, skin it right down, and then this front leg was I cut it off. I didn't use it because it was shot up, and it was all just basically jelly from the shock and everything. Then I'll just skin it down, keep skinning it down, skin everything out, and right around, and the hide will actually just like fold right over top of the head, and you can just keep skinning it right down. Then when you get it down close to right where the head connects to the spine, right there, right the back of the head, you'll take and skin it down to that point. Now the neck is gonna be harder to skin. It can be a pain to skin down because it's tough there. Keep pressure pulling down and just keep skinning around. You're gonna have to like skin around the neck. Just keep going around and around and around, and just keep pulling it down. Once you reach up against the head area, you take and make a cut completely around the neck into the bone, into the spine, and then I take my saw and I cut right through the bone there, and then you pretty much have it done. You want to make sure if there's any intestines or any fluid from in the intestines and stuff like that, that you get it washed down, get it cleaned out, get things cleaned up, and get as much as the blood and the tissue from the shot and everything that's bloody, get that cut out as much as you can, without wasting any meat. So it's not that hard. I've been doing it a long time. I've been doing it probably since I was about 6-7 years old. I've been helping do deer. So you just take your time on the first couple. The more you do, the more, the faster it'll get for you. I can skin a deer out in no time. There ain't much to it. But once you get going with it, you'll get the hang of it, and it's not that big of a deal. So
Now,
here I want to show you something here too. Up inside there'll be a lot of this is where his like anal cavity come through. There's a lot of fat and stuff up in here. You want to get that out. Something I didn't explain is on the back here, right where the tail connects, right here, like say this was the tail sticking out, all you have to do is take your knife and pull down on the tail and put your knife in against the deer, and you can find there's like a joint there. You can find that, and it'll just cut right off of there. It's not that, if it don't come right off real easy, you probably don't have the right spot. But just keep your knife in against the deer and just make your cut. And then what I do out here after I have everything taken down is I'll take, and if it's a buck, his penis will come up through here, and you want to cut that out, and I'll take and cut this straight down, spread that apart, and allow it to cool down a little easier. You want to get your, if it's cold out, it's not as big a deal, but if it's warmer, you want to get the hide off of them as soon as you can, because if you leave it on too long, it'll taint the meat. It can spoil the meat if you leave the hide on too long, if it's too warm. Another thing I do, I can't show you real well. Some people might not know this. There's actually not a joint in the front shoulder of the deer. Basically, I'm gonna scoot around here. Basically, you can take this, if it wasn't frozen, and you pull the leg out and cut right up in there, and that you can just take that and just cut right around that shoulder, and it'll come right off. There's not a joint in that shoulder. It's all muscle and and tendon. And you just take that, and what I like to do is I'll take and I'll make my cut up in here, and I'll cut it so that it hangs open, but I won't cut it completely off. That way, that allows, up underneath the armpit, allows air to get in there and it to cool down, and a lot faster for you. So
I thought of two things. Wayne had asked about the esophagus and that, and we had actually pulled most of that out when we were gutting the deer, but we left the heart in, and I wanted to touch on that too.
Yeah.
Why we left the heart in, and
all right,
let you answer that.
Yeah, we leave the heart in when we're out there, just because you don't have to deal with it, bringing it back or whatever. It's in there, it's not going anywhere. But what you do is, when you make that incision, coming back around, sorry, when you're getting up in there, you'll reach up in there and you can feel where the esophagus comes up through and comes out into like where the lungs and all that is. You can feel that, and that's where you want to make your cut. And you cut that, and then you can pull the lungs and everything out. Then what I'll do is, after, when I have this all skinned down, everything's out, I've done all this other stuff, I'll take and I'll make, like right here is where his esophagus was, right in this area right here. There'll be like a thin skin or thin flap of meat that goes over top of that. Basically what I'll do is I'll just take the knife and cut right up into his chest, and then you can take and cut that esophagus and everything right out of there. You can grab it and pull it out or cut it out, whatever you want to do. But I do that after I've done all this other stuff, and then I'll take and cut that in the throat and everything right out of there, and then you're good to go.
Yeah. Something else we might want to mention too, we have brain tanned several hides, and you need the brains from the animal obviously to do that. So when we are doing this process, we also save the brains in a container if that's something we desire to do.
If you're going to brain tan, there's a lot of videos out there on how to brain tan and such. But if you're going to brain tan, you save your head. What you'll do is you take and cut the head, the hide off the head, and you kind of skin it back, and then you'll take a saw and cut like a V in there into the top of the skull, and you can take the top of that skull off. And that's probably gross some people out, but take the top of that skull off, and then you take the brains out, put it in a container, and put them in the refrigerator. If it's cold out, you don't need to worry about it. But if it's not too cool out, you want to put them in a refrigerator and keep them cool until you're ready to use them. You don't want to store them too long; they're not going to last forever. So if you're going to do it, you don't want to wait too long to get to it.
Plus your hide won't last that long either. Your hide will spoil. So
you want to get to, if you're going to brain tan, you want to get to it as soon as you can.
Yeah.
So
currently my hide is salted. We fleshed it and have it under salt so that it's being prepared to be tanned. That was my first buck, so I'm gonna have that tan to put on my desk chair, and I'm gonna do a European mount with the skull.
We're switching places here, so so I'm gonna have a European mount done with my skull that I'll also hang up in my office space. So we just want to try to educate and share all our knowledge, and we are just so crazy busy, and we appreciate you following and your patience, and thank you all for your questions and comments, and just continuing to follow all of our YouTube channels and our websites. Again, as soon as this meat is thawed, we will be able to show you how to butcher it and how we butcher it, and then I will also, like I said, continue and show you how I can our meat as well, because right now with the mountain man shooting the moose, the freezer's full. So thank you again for joining us. Thank you, baby, for sharing that knowledge with everybody.
Yep.
And you guys take care, and God bless.